All right, well, happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to Stock Analysis Friday. My name is Bennett McDowell with TradersCoach.com, and today is November 8th, 2024. I hope everybody's doing well. Market's soaring, so let's see how long that'll last. And we'll take a look. I'm going to take a quick look at the market charts before we get going, but go ahead and feel free at this time to type in any stocks or ETFs you want me to look at. And let me know if you're already long or considering going long or short or whatever. That way I can tailor my analysis to where you are in that particular market. So just go ahead and do that now. And you do that in the comments area, and you should be A-OK. You shouldn't have any trouble doing that. If you lose video or voice, my voice goes away for whatever reason, let me know in the chat, because I'm usually the last one to know. All right, so that's sometimes the only way I know there's something wrong. So keep that in mind. All right, so let me just go really quickly through some of the administrational items. You know, when we do a webinar like this, especially when it's live, we always have to disclose the risks involved in trading. But they're also involved in investing in most everything we do in the financial community. But you need to know about that past performance doesn't guarantee future performance in the markets, and it doesn't matter which market, it's pretty much all markets. And also to trade with risk capital, money you can afford to risk in the markets. If you don't have that kind of money, you can use prop firms. If you're into day trading, those are pretty good and they give you free data. Just make sure you choose a good one, okay? Because some of them are on unstable ground. We recommend Apex. They've been around the longest. Also to check with your financial advisor or whoever manages your money to be sure that what we are recommending is suitable for you. You know, I don't know your personal situation out there, and everybody's different. So make sure you check with them, because they certainly should know what's going on with you. All right, let's see. Anything else I can tell you about this? I guess we deal in our own with probabilities. Everybody knows that, not guarantees. Okay, so I think that covers the risk. Oh, here's something on Apex Trader Funding. I'll put a link in the bottom of the recording for this, but you may want to give these guys a try. I have several funded accounts with them, and I find them fine. All right, they've been around the longest. They do pay out. So check them out. All right, and I'll put a link at the bottom later on. And also, too, I have several books. My latest book, The Art of Trading on the Far Right, coming out this year. That's being published by Wiley. My other book, Elliott Wave Techniques, was published by McGraw-Hill, and then the other books were Wiley. Money Management for Traders we did, and a Trader's Money Management System was by Wiley as well. So I got several books out there. My newest book is really, I think, the best book I've ever written. It's a long one. It's about 580 pages, but you can pre-order that now, probably at one of the best prices that you'll be able to get it at. And I'm very excited about it, because I think it's the best book, like I said, I've written to date. All right, software, when we look at charts, you may see things that you don't recognize because we're using our proprietary software and techniques. So if you want to learn more about this, I'll put a link at the bottom, or just go to our website, okay, you can check it all out. All right, then finally, like everybody says on YouTube, give us a like, all right? So I guess give us a like. All right, apparently that helps our channels out on the YouTube when you do that. All right, so let me get rid of that. I'm going to go over, I see some stocks coming in. That's great. All right, yeah, type them in caps. Al, good job. Al's telling me he's long. So I'll put this one up here, and we'll start with Al's in just a moment here. But also to put in no more than 3 at a time. Okay, that way we keep the flow going. And we're usually here for a little, right around half an hour, okay? Sometimes we run over a teeny bit, but I try to keep it right there. All right, so really quickly, you know, I had all these trend lines on all the major indexes, which is a fairly basic form of technical analysis. All right, no nothing really behind it except you connect the lower points of a trend. But they're incredibly simple to use, but also very helpful. And as you can see, that this trend that we have been in really since October 2023, all right, has been pretty reliable. It's been pretty much to the upside. All right, so we had an election. The markets went up after the election, and we'll see if that's going gonna last for a while. You know, interest rates got cut as well, so the market kind of had a lot to rejoice in, I guess, and up it goes. Okay, so my only problem with this is that, you know, we're sitting in a long-term, like 15-year Elliott wave Fibonacci extension target zone. So what does that mean? Well, it means that here, instead of being so excited, we need to be a little more cautious and look for a top here. So I know that sounds very counterintuitive, but considering the markets are going up so much, but I'm a little concerned because these tops, these target zones that we're in right now, that's that brownish area that I put a box over, they're pretty darn reliable. And so if everything is so good right now, what does that mean? Something has got to go wrong, right? For things to melt down. So we'll see what happens. It's always possible we could keep going up to the upper area, which is around 47,000. 15% of the time they exceed that, so not too much. And 70% of the time they end in this, you know, brownish area that I've got highlighted. So that's my only concern, all right? So once this ends, this is going to be a bear market, all right, we're going to go into. So it's fairly drastic, the change when it comes. Now, with that said, all right, for us short-term traders, you go with the flow, right? And the flow is still up. So basically all the long trades that we had found were found with good reason because they had more room to move, and they did indeed go up. So we just keep going with the flow. But I just want to put that little warning out that, you know, the flow may reverse at some point. And so we have to be kind of careful, always use stops. And especially with long-term holdings, you may want to meet with your financial advisor and just have a game plan if indeed things do reverse and come down. So you're not caught like a deer in headlights, not knowing what to do. So that's just a little advice I like to throw out there from time to time. All right, if you're new here, you're looking at 3 charts, and I analyze the markets with 3 charts, 60 minutes on the left. I got daily in the center and weekly, and it just helps me time things better. All right, with that said, let's get to Al stock here. All right, NT, NX. And by the way, while that's loading, you got to love crypto, okay? Hopefully you guys bought into that when we recommended that, because that's been a nice play. All right, so here's the daily chart in the center on NTNX, and we're getting close to that target out. All right, so you're long already. I would stay long, and one of the reasons with one of our indicators here called the PTF, this has about a 70% accuracy rate, so it's pretty good, is indicating more highs are coming. Now, I think you have the software, so definitely, you know, take a look at this when you're analyzing a market using our software. So when this goes yellow, all right, that will probably put it really quite in the beginning of that target zone, and the target's between 73 up to 92, and we're at 70. So we're getting pretty close. A lot of the PTFs on the longer term charts here now have turned yellow, but I still think there's some more move. We technically haven't hit it yet, so I would stay with it and just keep moving your stops up. And when you get into the target zone, you could use a stop on a short-term 60-minute chart, or you could scale out a small fraction of your trade and keep the rest with the trend and keep your stop so far under this pyramid here, okay? So you should be in good shape. These pyramids basically are visual icons that show, they draw in real time, and they show fractal correlations in the market for entries and exits. So that's what those things mean, okay? So there you have it, all right? So I'm not gonna recommend this for new people because we're so close to the target, but for you, since you're already in it, you go with it, right? So good job. All right, Al's back with US FD, thinking about a long position. Let's see what we got here. All right, well, a long position would definitely be going in the right direction of the trend. My only concern is, you know, when I look at a trend like this, am I getting in the beginning, or am I getting in up here? I don't like to get in here because the risk then is maybe a little higher, and then a correction. And the correction would, basically stop me out. So I don't think at this time I would recommend this one out. I would wait for the correction. When something gets away from you, wait for the correction. I'm not saying it's not going higher, but it's looking to me, and there's not a lot of history on this, so it's very hard to get a good Elliott wave count on the long-term charts. And everything has been going up since this low back in 2020. So it's extended. All right. So I would just, I would avoid it. Okay. All right. Gene's back with one of those likes. Give us a like. All right. Boy, Al, you're going to be our winner today. You are back with SMPL. All right. Once again, thinking of a long position here. Okay, so this one, a little different than before. All right, messy. That's a messy chart on the daily chart. I usually don't like to trade those unless I'm pretty clear on direction from a longer time frame. And unfortunately, the longer time frame has a red PTF, so that would make me not want to take any long trades. So no long trades on that one, okay? All right, thanks for sharing though. JP, good to have you here. All right, FXI. Let's see what's cooking on that bad boy. All right, kind of a funky 60-minute chart. Not sure about the liquidity on this one. A lot of gaps on the daily chart. Okay, so let me just open up this weekly chart for a minute. Okay, so we go back to 2005. We had one high, pull back, kind of a messy run, but it does look now on good volume. You can see the volume down here. All right, on good volume, we're starting to move up. So we have higher highs on this after this bottom. That's a good sign. And we have a green PTF and a green here. Okay, so that's meeting some of the requirements required for a long trade. Let's take a look and see where we are on the daily chart. All right, we have a green PTF. We just started a little bit of a red, but no, we're back to green on the owl, so that's good. And the momentum seems to be okay on the 60-minute chart, though it seems like it's very gappy, which probably means, not so sure, it means good liquidity. That's the problem with that. All right, so let's take a look here. The next question is, long looks okay, but where's it going? That's the next question. And we have to kind of see if we can get a target of where we think. If anybody can think of a target based on that activity, let me know, because that's a pretty difficult one to get a read out of. So let me just draw some fibs in and see where a possible target could be. And we're kind of already in it if this is just a retracement. So that breaks it down to what's the PTF saying. PTF is saying a high here of 37. Where was it? Okay, there it is. Yeah, 35. And we're at there. I don't think I'd take it. Okay, there's not enough PTF profit to make it worthwhile. Okay, I get why you're looking at it, but by the same token, again, I think the move has got maybe one more snap to the upside, but I don't know if I would go for that. Okay, it's not my favorite. All right, Sue, let's take a look here. See if we can find anything else that may be better here. All right, JP is back with BOTZ. All right, let's open up that weekly chart here. Okay, data back to 2017, moving up on the weekly chart, okay. All right, we've got no red anywhere. We've got momentum up here. And again, let's figure out where's the target on this thing. So again, big move up, big move down, starting to move up again. It's moved up quite a bit. So my problem with this is I can't figure out where it's going. There's no target. You don't have a wave 4. This is a big move down. It may be going into a big move All right, so if I was going to trade this, the daily chart's not helping me really. So maybe I would trade the 60-minute chart, and it's too far gone already on that chart. It's too high, and you've got so many pyramids in a row. So I don't think I would do that one. Okay, let's take a look at PRNT. You know, when I look at trades, why take a C or B trade? You know, if a trade doesn't, you know, knock my socks off, wait until one that does. You know, B trades usually are the ones that are taken because of impatience. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got a big move up, big move down on the weekly. Once again, goes back to 2017. And this one, at least here, we've got a channel that's been in place since 2022. Boy, can you imagine getting stuck in that thing? All right, taking a long position, it doesn't go anywhere for 2 years. All right, so do we know it's going to go anywhere now? No. All right, eventually it should be. But I think I'd be more apt to maybe wait until it gets above this channel before doing anything with it. So that would be what, waiting until it gets above 25 and it's at 21, big deal. Okay, just wait for it to break there. Then I think it will trend. But, you know, it may happen sooner or later. But even then, if it breaks out, then you got to figure out where it's going. So again, I don't think I would take that. I think it's a B or C trade. I think it's actually a C. All right, so don't take that one. All right, let's keep going here. Good morning, Jim. How are you? Thank you, JP, for sharing those with us, by the way. All right. Boy, Thinkorswim still has not yet authorized. Oh boy, that's so. Al's using the NinjaTrader platform and he's importing TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim software data rather into his NinjaTrader, and it has not yet been completed by Schwab, which bought TD Ameritrade and the TD Ameritrade data. So, could they take any longer, right? All right, so let's see what I mean, you've been waiting for this for a while. They still haven't. All right. All right, so let's take a look at Stu's comment here. He's been in this stock, FSLR, for a long position for a while, and he wants to know if he should add to his position. That's dollar cost averaging. All right, there's a place for dollar cost averaging, of course, okay? However, it does increase your risk, so just note that. All right, well, we have green PTFs across the board. So there's a high probability that the previous high above, what, 300 is going to be exceeded. The question is when. All right, so let's take a look at that weekly chart and see. So this goes back to 2007. We approached the high here, did not take it out. So there's still, I guess, some form of liquidity if from back then still there. Yeah, I guess let's just see. You got a red owl here. So that's a bearish price bar there. I would say, Al, the answer is yes, but you may find it, you can get a better price if you wait a little longer on that. This price bar is also going to act like a little bit of a range bar. So if you get a breakout from there, that might be your best bet, and then put your stop under here. My concern is they may take the liquidity out here, okay? And another thing I like to do is usually on a big bearish bar like that, you're probably good for a one-to-one movement down, and that's going to put you right here right under that liquidity. See? So I'm saying I would put probably a limit order to buy right at under this low here, and that would be 129.22. So I think maybe put it this way: if you bought now, in a year or two, you'd probably be fine, but short term, maybe not. Okay. So I would kind of hold off on that, all right, and do that and see how it works for you. Or if you're afraid you're going to miss it, you can go in with a teeny bit and then put the rest where I told you to under there. But I would imagine they'll take that liquidity out, because when I say they, it's the institutions. They know, they know what the retail traders are doing. Okay, they're all long. Their stops are here. Okay, so if they can run those stops and grab the liquidity before running it back up again, which is what the PTFs say will eventually happen, they'll do it. Okay, so that's that. So FSLR, I would wait a little longer. All right, Lowell, how are you, Lowell? Okay, ARKW, curious on this one. Guys, doing great. This really helps me know what you're thinking about when we take a look at stuff. All right, interesting. Let's open up that weekly chart. Boy, so many of these, V-shape, boom, boom, and, now coming off the bottom. So 1, 2 pyramids in a row. We could go quite a bit higher. My only concern is that if this is an Elliott wave 1, 2, then this is going to be a big move up for sure. If it's not, all right, and that means we're already in the target zone for any type of, pull up, so to speak, in terms of a correction. So not 100% clear, okay? Is this the beginning of something really big or not? I can tell you that prices right now have jumped out of this little channel here, so that's a good sign. You're going to get more highs, but I'm just not sure where it's going. So with that said, I would probably wait for a pullback off this move up and then look at it again to see if you can get a better entry. But I'm not going to recommend it because I'm not sure if this is a beginning of a huge trend or we're already in the target zone like the Dow is, getting ready to end soon. Okay, so again, I don't think it's an A+ trade. All right, let's take a look at BERY. All right, kind of messy here. I would not go long here. Okay. Red PTFs on the short time frames and messy. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Frank, how are you? All right, RIOT. So this is in the ETF community. Not the, ETF, but it's also in the crypto community. All right, so, green PTF on the long term does look like we may be breaking out a little bit on the daily chart. Let's take a look at that. So I'm liking that. All right, this occurred back in, this bottom here occurred back in late 2022, so quite some time. It's held. It's gone up and down. All right, so my first question is, where do you think the target is for this? That's the next question. And it's been sideways, fairly prominent for quite some time. A little bit of a messy chart. Let's hold off on this one a little bit and look at it next week, Frank, okay? I want to see a little more follow through on this before getting excited. We may be getting it, okay? But we've got some serious resistance levels coming pretty soon. So let's just see. And if we can break those, then I think we got to move to possibly break at least this area 55. So I would hold off, but I think you'll see, okay? All right, want to go long GDS, but long but covered 75%. So let's see what GDS, what we got here. So GDS, you're long already, you covered. And I think we looked at this last week, so we were kind of getting ready for maybe a pullback to this area. So I think GDS is a good long-term one. So actually, this is actually one that I like, and I think 36 to 56 is a very probable target zone for this one based on the weekly chart, even if it's just a retracement. The only problem is here, all right, is it better to get in here or down here? And then the answer obviously is here, right? So let's let it pull back and then buy it, okay? All right, so if you're long this already, if you see it breaking below here, all right, you probably should get out, okay? But I wouldn't get out yet because you still have a green PTF on the short-term time frame. So you make one more quick buy here. So I just stay with it a little bit. All right. Let's see. All right, Jim's got some information on the TD Ameritrade Schwab type of thing. So he's saying won't be completed until the change over till at least the first quarter of 2025. All right, so you got it, what, another 5 months or 6 months or so, half a year. It's amazing they couldn't do that a little quicker. But in any case, okay, thanks, Jim, for the update. All right. All right, now this is interesting. Terry's saying the software works fine in TOS for me. Okay, so he's using TOS data, Terry, right, for Ninja Trader. All right, so let's see. Okay, so here's UVIX as a hedge. All right, let's take a look at that. UV, I think we looked at this one last week too. UVIX. All right, so market goes up. This is obviously coming down. All right, so we've got some green PTF here. Yeah, you could use that as a hedge. I wouldn't go into it quite yet, but yeah, you could use it. I would wait until things turn around and start to go up, which means the market will be not so good. All right, possibly. All right, DCA, definitely got some volatility there. All right, let's take a look at DCA. I think I typed it. Dollar cost averaging. Oh, I see, dollar cost averaging. I think that's what you mean, right? I don't think you mean the stock DCA. I think dollar cost averaging is what you meant. All right. Al's back. Let's take a look at FIVN. Okay, so FIVN. All right. Okay, so this one's interesting. All right, now we had to pull off the bottom, but what do you guys see that still, to me, is a problem? And the problem is this is still red. Now, that doesn't mean it can't go to green, but it's not yet. So I usually don't trade against that. This is green. This is green. This is looking really good. I wouldn't be surprised if this changes. If this has some follow through, it will change, okay? Because it's red, we would not have taken this entry off the pyramid, even though that would have been perfect. You got to follow the rules, okay? When I have a red PTF, I usually don't go against it, so I wouldn't take a long trade on it. But if it changes, then I'll look for a pullback and then join the party. But this could be the beginning of a party, or we could get a move back down. This is a bearish price bar right here forming right now. So we may fill that gap, come back down. Who knows? Okay. So I would keep this. Let's put this on a watch list, but I won't recommend it because of the red PTF. All right. Let's see what here Stu says. TOS, talking about Thinkorswim, does not have live prices. Day and week charts work fine, but 60-minute or less will not work. Okay. Here's Jim saying, yes, dollar cost averaging. All right. All right. Let's say, Kevin, how are you? Okay. So put on MGM. So Kevin's betting this baby will go down. And I think that's a pretty good bet. Let's take a look here. And I say that so quickly because of the red PTFs, right? So we should get down into this area here. So I guess they'll sweep liquidity a little bit more on that. So I think you'll do okay on that. However, I would exit once they sweep liquidity about below here, and that will turn this to yellow anyway. So when this turns yellow, get out. But that getting out will be sweeping liquidity there. Okay, so once they've done that, I think maybe they've done their job. Okay, I don't, is it possible they could sweep this liquidity? Yeah, All right, that's possible, but it may take a little bit longer. And I don't know if you want to stay in that position. This is interesting because this PTF is saying they eventually will. But you're gonna have to wait a long time. I mean, you could have to wait years for that. Okay, so I would imagine you'll be happy if it takes that liquidity out there. So yeah, I would hold it. Okay, I think you're okay. Okay, Terry, cancel that positive comment for Toscan about the TS license. Okay, no worries. Okay, let's see. All right. UNG, yeah, UNG. Let's take a look at that's the ETF. Yeah, that was stopped out. All right, unfortunately. All right, so basically it made a new low and it's still coming down. All right, so we got a red PTF short term and it's still a green one there. So the patient is not feeling well right now, but the prognosis is good. All right. So that's how I would read that. So we're still coming down. All right. Let's see where this baby bottoms. And once we have a confirmed turnaround, we can try it again. Okay. So you should be out right now and take it that way. Okay. UNG should do, I'm telling you, should do pretty well once the bottom's in because there's a lot of room for that to move up. But for right now, no. You know, the other one is TLT. You know, that's the bond ETF. And this is heading back down now, probably because stocks are doing so well. But, you know, we have a red PTF on the weekly chart. So that's why I kind of was not recommending that. So we'll see, all right, on that one as well. So that's trending down now, so don't do that one. All right, Stuart, back to you. Let's take a look at LNG. LNG. All right, so LNG. Okay, so you're long. Okay, good. I would not go long here because it's too late. Price targets here, more highs are coming. That's an awful big wave 3 owl. We're in here. We have bearish divergence here. So I think basically here right now, we're still moving up on this. I think you're fairly safe to keep it. In terms of price targets here, on the short-term time frame, this move up here. So let me just I'll draw it on the daily. Okay, hold on. So here's what I think will happen. Could move up a little more. Then you get a wave pullback here, profit taking. And according to this, we'll see if the PTFs are still green and see how that's large. We should get one more high. Okay. And then that should be it. Okay, up here. So I would expect the pullback. If you don't want to endure the pullback, then as soon as you see a spike up here with a bearish bar, you can put your stop maybe under there, but until then I would go up with it. Let me see if there's any further liquidity to take out up here. Ooh, okay. See, this is when it gets really difficult because when you get up into areas where there's no more liquidity to take out, so they took out this liquidity here, now you're getting into no man's land. And it's hard. I would not take a long trade here in no man's land right now unless the short-term charts are indicating more highs are coming, and they are. Okay, so you're okay for now. But you know, I would keep your you got to watch it, okay, because it could be ripe for a change in trend or a reversal. So the next pullback probably could be in the 190s, like 195 to 200 maybe, and then it should go higher. Depends how high it goes now before the pullback. And then, so let's look at it next week, okay? I think you'll be all right for a week. Okay, so let's see here. OC, let's take a look at that one here. Okay, and then we'll wrap it up here pretty soon. All right, so because we're starting to get into our over half an hour, but all right, so OC long, no, it's too late. Okay, trend is overextended. All right, let's take a look at AL, SLV. Long, but where to put my stop? Okay, you're in silver. Okay, so silver came very close, if not super close to its target once already. All right, we got a green PTF. Hopefully that will stay green. We have little bearish divergence building there. So I would basically at this particular point, we're still going to go down a little further because we got some red over here. But this is indicating that we should move back up for some more highs. Okay. So in turn, I don't know where you got in on this, but for right now, what I would do is let's see how much this further goes down. Let me just see if there's any liquidity grabs here. You got a liquidity grab here. They'll probably take that out. I don't think they'll take that out, and I don't think they'll take that out because I think the trend still is up. All right, so let's see what happens with that. So let's look at it next week. So I would don't put your stop here. Everybody has their stop here. Okay, put it down here because this is still green. If this was not green, then I would be saying probably at this point you might have missed the top. Okay, a short-term top anyway. But looks to me like we're going to head back up into that top after this correction. Okay, so that's kind of where I would do it. Maybe put your stop at the very bottom here at 24. It's 4 points away down there, and that should hold you. Okay, unless this is a total change in trend. Make sense? Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. I don't see any more coming in. All right. Not a bad turnout today. All right. We're increasing slow but sure. So that's a good sign. Love having you guys here. I enjoy doing this. Find it a lot of fun. And also is good to see what people are looking at. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Okay. Yeah, and give us keep giving us those likes. That of course helps the channel. I'm trying to think of anything else to say. But as Gene says, nice work, everybody. Okay. A lot of good ones you guys bringing. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here. All right. So we'll see you back here next week, and we'll see if the market is still surging up or if it should quiet down pretty soon, I think. I'm not surprised that we're seeing this euphoria right now. Lower interest rates, the market, like the election results, so it screamed up. So, we'll see if it's a knee-jerk reaction or something that's sustainable. Not sure yet. All right, we're certainly in the targets. All right, unfortunately, no winners today, okay? The only one I got on the watch list is FIVN, right? That's it. So that's kind of interesting, all right? Normally we find some winners. The fact that we didn't maybe shows that things are a little overextended, right? So that's kind of interesting. All right, so thank you, everybody, but we'll be back next week, and please join us, all right? Have a great week, and take care. I'll actually, what I'll do is you know what I usually do? I put on the intraday time frames. Let's put on one that's moving. The NASDAQ's always fun. And we'll let that ride a little bit, just like that. Okay. So there you have it. Okay. So you can watch that. Looks like pull back here. Okay. Some fair. So maybe a long trade if we get down to 21,180. That looks like a fair value gap there. It'd be very suspicious because if it gets down there, they may run this liquidity here and here. So you have to be careful about that. But you do have a green PTF. So maybe a partial order here and see how it goes. And then if it blows through that, then don't put one in until you break this liquidity here. Okay, so there you have it. All right, so have a good one. We'll see you next week.